Good morning, everybody. Hello, hello. Welcome, everyone. Are you guys ready? I don't know if you guys are ready for today. I don't know if you can be ready. Excuse me. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the stream. Welcome to 420. Today, when traditionally I roll in and smoke it, I bake the whole house. I'm high off my ass. I eat some Funyuns, and, things get a little crazy around here, right? Or not. But, it's 420. Some people celebrate it. Pretty silly. Oh, hi, buddy. Jasper just popped right into the office and jumped up on the chair to say hello. Hello, buddy. You just came right at the right time. So, welcome, everyone, to the stream. Welcome to a fun, full day of streaming. Today's going to be a good day for multiple reasons. First of all, it's 420. I'm sure many of you will be laid back, toking it, smoking it, and, relaxing. Maxing and relaxing. Maybe you'll have a few chili dogs while you're, blazing. And that's okay. Today's the day for that, apparently. I've never been a part of that culture, so I really wouldn't understand it. But, hopefully you guys have a good time today, enjoying your sticky, icky, as they say. But also, today is a new release day. Pretty crazy that we've waited this long for new releases in 2021. I mean, there's been, what, like 5, if that? And we're in the second half of April. There's been almost no notable new releases, and the ones that have come out, quite frankly, haven't really gained much mainstream traction. Like, but what about Monster Hunter? Yeah, what about it? People talked about it for about 3 days, and then, like, no one mentioned it ever again, Like, that's kind of been the norm this year. There hasn't been any major new releases at all that have gripped us to the point where it became something that everyone was hyped for and everyone was talking about for an extended period. Mostly it was like, okay, play for a day, all right, on to the next, no big deal. So that being said, I'm happy that starting this week, we've got the release schedule picking up in a giant way, which we'll talk about in a moment. Every week, pretty much, we're going to have a major new release, with an exception here or there, but weekly new releases, moving forward, it's going to be a pretty exciting time, okay? Pretty awesome. All right. So, that being said, my friends, new release today, MLB The Show 21. This will only be the 3rd time in history that I've played a baseball game. I played one way back when, near the start of the launch of the PlayStation 4, and I did a interesting playthrough where it was a lot of interaction with the stream audience, which I didn't really do back then, but because the game was just me basically swinging at baseballs, that's basically what it became. It became a, let's talk kind of while I play the game. And then 2 years ago, for the first time in many years, I returned to it as a chill stream game, and it really fit into my schedule nicely. People, for if I remember correctly, about a month to 2 months, really enjoyed me playing the game on and off, mixing it up with all the other stuff that I was doing, okay? So, I'm excited today to be starting up MLB The Show 21. It's going to be character creation. It's going to be starting up a new My Career mode, starting from the bottom, the minor leagues, and building a new athlete up from the bottoms at the start of a career, seeing if they can get drafted by a major league and see how that team will do. Now, I haven't played this in a couple of years, and for me, I'm probably going to be rusty. I'm sure I'll remember a few things, but I've only played this game a couple of times. Hope you'll bear with me today. Today's going to basically be the setup stream. Creating the character, getting you set up, learning the controls. There's going to be a lot of ample opportunity for interaction today. This game has a lot of that. So I certainly hope you guys will enjoy the stream, but understand the kind of stream that it's going to be. There's probably not going to be a lot of riveting action. You know what I mean? It's going to be a more laid-back, chill stream, which I guess kind of makes sense for 420 day, right? Speaking of which, later tonight, we got another chill stream with Genshin Impact. And the late stream today is going to essentially be the last major stream of Genshin Impact for a while. Reason being, with all these new releases coming out in the next 2 weeks, my main daytime streams are going to end up being the new releases, which then means all the other playthroughs that I've been doing, like Divinity 2 and Danganronpa V3, have to be pushed to the late streams. With them being pushed to the late streams, and also keeping in mind some of the games that I'm going to keep into the late night rotation, such as Weekly Street Fighter and Call of Duty, there's not going to be time for filler downtime content like Genshin Impact or Fall Guys. Those games are actually going to go by the wayside, and we're going to be focusing in on other stuff. So, tonight is essentially the last stream of Genshin Impact for a while. I'm not saying that Genshin won't return at some point. I'm just saying that at this point, I just can't focus on it because I'm going to be too busy, you know. So I hope you guys will join me tonight for some Genshin fun. I actually have a new character that I unlocked during summoning last time around. So we'll see how that goes. And should be a chill late stream. I hope you guys will join me tonight, 6:45 p.m. Okay? Tomorrow, we're going to continue on with Danganronpa V3 as the main gameplay stream. I'm excited because we just headed into Chapter 3, which seems to have a really interesting plot line with a new part of the school that may be haunted. So I want to investigate it. And then, tomorrow night, more MLB, as MLB will be moved from a daytime stream to a late night stream, as it's going to be moving forward a late night chill stream. Okay? Kind of get settled in here. On Thursday, the continuation of Divinity 2 on the early stream, where we're going to try to actually advance the plot this time around, which I didn't do at all last time. And then Thursday night will be Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. And this will be exciting because Thursday is the release of the new season of Black Ops Cold War, including new maps and weapons. So that should be fun to check out Thursday night. Then on Friday. Friday is the day many people have been waiting for. Lots of anticipation, lots of hype. Nier Replicant, which is essentially a complete remake of the original Nier game from 11 years ago, finally being remade for a modern audience with modern gameplay mechanics, you know, full voice acting in English, etc. Basically, the game has never had that before. So it's coming out on Friday. This is a game that essentially, this is I would say it's a prequel to Nier Automata, but really it's not because this game came out first. Really, Nier Automata was the sequel to this. So we'll get to see a lot of those plot points from Nier Automata that we only read about in these logs and stuff of the past. We'll get to see those plot points actually happen live in the game, you know. Hopefully it's a good game. I'll be honest with you guys, you know how I feel about prequels, right? And this isn't really a prequel. Like I said, the game came out before Nier Automata, but it just kind of sucks that we're kind of spoiled on everything that happens in the plot of the game because we already played Nier Automata, right? So, I think I'll still enjoy it, though. I hope you guys will join me for that on Friday, okay? And then Friday night, it's my weekly Throwback Street Fighter session, and that's the streaming week. I'm off on Saturday. When I come back on Sunday, likely, it'll be more Nier Automata, and we'll go from there, okay? Fair enough. Now, next week, the final week of April, there's 2 more new releases, okay? There's going to be Replicant, PS5 exclusive, and then there's going to be Pokemon Snap. So we're talking a lot of new game releases in a short period of time. Chances are I'll be juggling those 3 games, meaning Nier Automata, Replicant, and Pokemon Snap, on the main streams, while the night streams will be a balance between the continuation of Divinity 2, Danganronpa V3, Weekly Street Fighter, and Call of Duty. And of course, MLB. So there's going to be a lot of new stuff happening in a very short period of time, okay? So I hope you guys will join me for this. For the next 2 weeks, it's going to be pretty exciting around here. Okay? Ladies and gentlemen, got a few things to talk about on the stream today. First of all, it's 420 day. And you guys, just so you know, if you want to celebrate and have a little bit of fun with contributions today, is you either cheer 420 bits, exactly, or if you tip me $4.20, special animations will play on the stream for either that celebrate 420. It's silly. It's fun. No, I'm not part of that culture, but it's silly to have that on the stream. So, feel free, if you would like to see some silly animations, to do either of those things, okay? Hold on one second, guys. My nose is really bothering me, my allergies. I think I'm going to go blow my nose and pop an allergy pill before I continue, because already, like, my nose is starting to run and stuff, and I'm like, this is no good. I think I need to take... I don't take an allergy pill often. I think today's the day I got to do it. All right? Bear with me. Give me like a minute to run to the bathroom, pop an allergy pill, and blow my nose and come right back. And then we'll continue, okay? I'll be right back, guys. Okay, everybody, I'm back. Sorry about the delay. Yeah, I'm sitting here and I can smell the pollen. You know what I mean? You know when pollen is so heavy in the air in the spring sometimes? You can literally start smelling it. And I'm sitting here, my nose starts to run, and I'm like, I gotta go do something about this quickly. So I did. I ran and I just popped an allergy pill. So hopefully it kicks in within the next half hour or so, and then I won't have issues with allergies all day. Okay? Excuse me. All right. All right, so continuing on, guys. We have 420 animations for today. Today would definitely be the day to use them, either 420 bits or exactly $4.20 tip. And you'll be able to see those fun animations on the stream today. All right. Now, excuse me. A couple things. Yesterday I had a pretty big segment explaining how I have no tolerance for online harassment of people who are positive viewers and or contributors to my streams. And that's going to continue, and I'm going to be mentioning this every single day. All right? It's this simple. There's some people who thought they could get away with harassing people who are positive influences in our community. That's not going to happen anymore. All right? If I find out that someone is being very nasty, stalking someone, harassing someone, otherwise publicly deriding or making fun of someone just because they're a regular on my streams, you're not going to be here anymore. And I'm laying down the law about this because sadly there has been a group of people who've been doing this behind the scenes. They act like they're a fan. They act like they're someone nice. And then next thing you know, oh, they're on someone else's stream, and all they do is they want to rag on someone because they're someone who's on the stream all the time talking with me, or because they contributed positively to a stream. And it's just not allowed anymore. I've had enough. You get to a point where it surpasses being a joke and it becomes actual online harassment. And when I have people who are longtime fans, viewers, supporters telling me, we don't like this, and we don't like seeing what's happening with your community because people are getting harassed, that's where I lay down the law. All right? So please understand that. It's not that I can stop it. It's that I can stop these people from coming back and being a part of our community and acting like they're positive when in reality all they're doing is being toxic behind the scenes. Essentially, they're pussies. You know? They don't have the fucking balls to be upfront and honest. Instead, they want to be those fucking backstabbing shitheads, right? Oh, if I go somewhere else, I could totally make fun of someone constantly. As long as it's not on Phil's stream, he'll never know, right? And the truth is, normally I wouldn't know. But recently, some people have actually gone out of their way to show me evidence. And they're like, listen, this guy is on your stream every day. Take a look at what he's saying in these other channels. Really disgusting. Really insulting, really nasty shit. He's a toxic jerk, toxic douchebag. And the fact that he sits in your stream every day and pretends to be a fan, and then he says this stuff about you and others who support you, is pretty fucked up. And I've seen some of this stuff, I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. Like, I can't believe these people act like this, you know? So, I'm just gonna say this. It's not allowed. Please understand that. I mean, it's always been against the rules here, but that's the thing. People didn't take it, oh, well, I'm gonna go do it somewhere else. Well, guess what? The internet is a public place, stupid. Just because you did it in another chat doesn't mean that no one's gonna see it. You know, you gotta be an idiot. But that's it. These people are dumb. They're not smart anyway. I mean, who else? What kind of person would act like that, right? A moron. So obviously this person's going to think that they're immune to any kind of consequences for their actions. Very much not the case. All right? By the way, we got a lot of 420 animations coming in. Thank you, guys. Yeah, man. Every time you tip me 420, I blaze. Oh. Bake this house. Okay, anyway. So I'm just laying down the law. I hope all of you understand this and why we're doing it. I'm trying to make this a safe and fun community for everyone. And the fact that people are getting harassed online for absolutely no fucking reason is unacceptable. Okay? This is why every day on pre-stream I urge all of you to try to make a new account and or a separate account on Twitch than from what you use everywhere else. Because sadly, I hate to say it, these people are no-life losers. And they will follow you to your social media accounts, to other places where they found the same name, and they'll try to harass you there just because they're losers. They have no lives. They have nothing positive going on. So instead, they try to take their negativity and their lack of anything positive in their life and use it to harass other people because they have so much fucking free time. So I definitely recommend, if you're a regular on Twitch, do not use the same name here on Twitch that you use on like a Facebook or a Twitter or anything like that, because sadly people will link two and two and try to harass you there if they don't like you here for whatever reason. I do say for whatever reason because there's never a legitimate reason. It's always they're just a fucking nut job. Oh, someone cheered today? I'm gonna go harass them on Facebook. What the fuck are you talking about, you fucking loser? But that's what they do. Okay? So there you go, guys. Please understand why this is a rule, why this is in effect, and why it's not acceptable behavior. Can you imagine being someone, oh, I came to Phil's stream today, I like Phil's content, here, I'm going to contribute, I'll send him a tip, and then getting harassed for a week online? Like, what the fuck? Alright? So anyway, not anymore. Alright? Enough of that bullshit. Now, the other thing, guys, I said this yesterday, and I have to keep saying this for the rest of this month. Right now, guys, financially, I am strapped. 100% strapped. Meaning, I had to drop a very large payment to the feds to get caught up on my taxes so that they would now allow me to do a new back tax payment plan for this year so I can continue to pay my back taxes. If I didn't make this big payment to them, they would have essentially said, oh, you're behind on taxes and everything's invalid and now everything's due immediately, which would have screwed me because I don't have thousands and thousands of dollars to pay them, okay? So I had to make basically a minimum payment to qualify for a payment plan for the rest of the year. When I made that minimum payment, it emptied out my finances. And now, I'm not even kidding you, I'm living day to day. All the tips that I make on a stream immediately go to my bank account to clear bills. Now, this month, I have to pay my quarterly state tax payment for my business. I also have to pay my monthly regular federal tax payment. I also have to pay electricity. I also have to pay gas and water bills. I also have to pay my phone bill. And then I also have to pay health insurance. Yes, I have to pay all of that by the end of this month. And the only income I'm getting is one payment from YouTube, which will likely cover just the federal taxes. That's it. And your tips. That's it. And there's nothing else I can do about it. All right? That's just the situation I'm in. So the reason I'm bringing this up is very simple. If you enjoy my content, if you enjoy my streams, and if you support me, I'm asking that if you are going to contribute to crowdfund my efforts for the rest of April, please tip me. All right? We already hit the sub goal for the month. We are set with subscriptions. I understand some of you will want to sub and resub and gift subs in celebration of these new games coming out. That's fine. All right? That's perfectly fine. But if you have the option to choose how to contribute, I would ask that you tip me in the short term here. I really need the help with tips. Tips are going to literally pay my bills for the rest of the month, It's the only income I'm getting because, like I said, as soon as I get paid by YouTube, that's going right to the feds pretty much. And that's it. All right? So, if you could, please tip me. All right? Now, you guys know the deal with tips. First of all, every single day on stream, we have tip rewards. If we raise $50 in tips, I'll put on my Gunner glasses. If we raise $100 in tips, I'll put on a vest of your choice. Today, we shall reset the vests. So, it'll be beige, red, platinum, denim, and camo vests available today if we hit the $100 tips goal. Remember, if we double or triple the tips goal, we have other silly rewards like wearing 2 vests at once and putting on a hat and silly stuff like that. All right? Now, also, as you guys know, I require you to have a verified PayPal account to tip me because of fraud purposes. Someone who was, for a good 3 to 4 month period, buying stolen credit cards off the internet and tipping me falsely, which led to tons of chargebacks and tons of issues. All right? So, that being said, you know, I do require that you have a verified PayPal account to tip me. Thank you to those who have verified their PayPal accounts in the last couple of months that have helped streamline my streams. All it means to have a verified PayPal account is that you link your real-life identity to it to prove that you're a real person, rather than someone doing it anonymously, you know, which is likely because of fraud purposes. They don't dox you. I don't get your personal info or anything like that. So don't feel like that it's some kind of a liability. It's not. And also, by the way, it's free to make a verified PayPal account. It's not like you have to pay anything or do any tons of extra work. It's really not that hard. All right? So please consider it, and thank you in advance. Also, if you are going to tip me, I recommend that you create a code word. Reason being, if you're going to tip me more than once and you have a code word, I will know it's you. I'll know it's you and I can trust you, and not that it's someone coming in trying to impersonate you or make it seem like it's a legit tip when it's not. You see what I'm saying? So you might want to use a code word. Regulars have been starting to use code words for the past month. It has worked tremendously to help me streamline my streams. Most of the time now when I get a tip, I don't have to verify it. I can just take it for granted, and it works out well, okay? And I will say this as well. You know, if you were holding off on contributing, saying, oh man, I'm waiting for Phil to start a new game playthrough or this or that, well, the new game playthroughs are now beginning, all right? So please, I need the support right now. I need it through the rest of this month in order to make ends meet and pay the bills that I owe. Please, if you can, tip me. And thank you in advance for any contributions. As you guys know, contributions are not mandatory. They're not expected. They're greatly appreciated because they're pretty much the only income that I make. Outside of that little bit of YouTube revenue that I make every month, it's your contributions, your crowdfunding that allows me to do what I love for a living. I'm not someone who has sponsorships and get paid for those. I'm not someone who has a contract that I turn on a stream and immediately get paid by Twitch or YouTube because I have some exclusive contract. It's nothing like that at all, okay? This is all very much for the love of the game, the fact that I love interacting with you guys on a daily basis. Please, if you can, contribute, all right? And that's that. I'm going to leave it at that. And thank you in advance. Already a lot of people just did 420 tips, which is funny as hell. Thank you, guys. I'm just trying to think if there's anything else that I want to cover. Oh, that's right. There's one piece of gaming news I want to talk about today, and it's kind of interesting because I've been saying for a while now, what the hell is going on with Overwatch 2? Like, what is going on with this game? This game was announced, what, 2-3 years ago? That they were making Overwatch 2, and when it was announced, a lot of people groaned and were like, really? We thought that Overwatch was going to be more like games as a service. And now that you're announcing a formal sequel, it makes us kind of feel like all the time and effort that we invested into the original Overwatch is kind of like a waste of time. Like, why do we put all that time into the game if you were just going to drop it and make a sequel starting over from scratch, right? Well, there's been no Overwatch 2 news in a long time. I think the only piece of news that really came out was that they showed some of the character designs for Overwatch 2, and they're almost identical to Overwatch 1. Like, I think what they were showing was like, oh, it's McCree in Overwatch 2. He looks exactly the same, except he has a few pieces of, like, cyber armor on his body or something. And people were making fun of it profusely on the internet. Like, wow, what a big difference between 1 and 2. He's like the same exact fucking guy with like a tiny little tweak here or there. They didn't even try, right? So, the reason I'm bringing this up today, you may not have heard this. It's breaking news. The creative director of Overwatch, the person who essentially is in charge of Overwatch, has been with Blizzard for 20 years. Not anymore. He just quit. He just quit and is moving on to do something else. They're basically saying that someone who is like his assistant or something is now going to become the head of the Overwatch 2 development team. So, you know what that says. Let's be honest here. You know what that says. It says that this guy basically didn't like Overwatch 2's development and or where it was going, and he said, I'm out of here. You know? That's interesting to me. Because what was going on with this game? You know, we haven't heard, again, we've heard almost nothing about this game. We heard it was announced, and then there was zero info about it. Zero. Like, we don't have any idea what the changes are going to be. Are they going to change game modes? You know what I mean? Like, will there be an epic story campaign? We know nothing. What are the new characters? We know nothing. Right? So, I just kind of shrug. Like, what's going to happen with this game? And the thing is, when you have a game that moves from someone who's mostly in charge, the creative director, someone who's, I'm definitely guiding the ship, right? This guy was the guy who steered the ship in a certain direction. Overwatch 1 was outstanding, all right? I'm going to be honest with you guys. If you guys remember years and years ago when Overwatch 1 came out, which was, 5 years ago now? So I think it was 2016. There were 2 games coming out at the same time, Battleborn and Overwatch. And everyone was like, oh, this is going to be a head-to-head competition. And it wasn't. Reason being, Overwatch was a game that was polished. Overwatch was a game that was fun to just jump right the hell into and play at face value. You didn't have to be great at it. It had a good variety of characters that all had unique personalities and different play styles. So kind of like Team Fortress, right? But it just, I don't know. It felt like an established and interesting universe that you could really get into. You know what I mean? Like, it had a culture about it that seemed to be pretty interesting at launch. Okay? Battleborn was a game that seemed like it didn't know what it wanted to be because it had multiplayer elements that were competitive, but then it had these weird RTS elements in a first-person shooter that were very confusing. In addition, the game was completely unpolished. If you remember, I played the beta like 2 weeks before the game came out, and the frame rate was terrible. Like, the game ran at only 30 frames per second on console and regularly chugged at like 10 frames per second when you got into firefights. So I was like, how is this game ever going to be a competitive shooter when it runs and looks like shit? Just playing Overwatch versus Battleborn at launch, it felt like two different levels of game development. It did. It felt like Battleborn was like first entry attempt. They're trying hard, but sadly they're not really succeeding very well. While Overwatch was like, these guys are seasoned pros. They know what they're doing. The game is polished as hell. You know, runs at a great frame rate, easy to jump in and enjoy. It just felt like 2 completely different experiences, even though the games were designed to be direct competitors. The other weird thing is that Battleborn had characters that were the same as characters from Overwatch. Like, no lie, it seemed like somehow one side or the other got wind of what they were doing and copied each other. Because some of the character designs were almost fucking identical. And it's very confusing to say, how could 2 games that come out at the same time have the same characters in them? That's very odd, okay? Anyway, you know, Overwatch completely destroyed Battleborn. Overshadowed it 1,000,000%. When Battleborn came out, it was like a tremendous flop. And I remember I was going to buy it, and you guys convinced me not to. I was going to buy Battleborn. You guys told me, don't do it. It's going to be a waste. You should just focus in on Overwatch. And so, I did, and you guys were dead on 100% correct. Overwatch was very fun to play that launch year. I had a ton of fun with Overwatch. I liked playing it on the regular. It was part of my schedule, you know, of things that I played regularly and got into. And I just had a ton of fun with this. So you guys were 100% correct and saved me some money there. And Overwatch, let's face it, for like 2-3 years there, Overwatch was insanely popular. Remember? It was at the top of gaming culture, memes all over the internet about Overwatch and everything. Every time a new character was added to Overwatch, there was tremendous hype behind it, and everyone would talk about it. And now, in the last 1 to 2 years, Overwatch has almost lost all momentum. Almost no one talks about Overwatch anymore, when you really think about it. It pretty much is like non-existent in gaming culture. So that's why everyone's thinking, oh, you know, now's the time they're gonna release a big bomb this year about information about Overwatch 2. And I'll be honest with you, I thought coming up at E3, I thought that Blizzard would do a big event revealing Overwatch 2 to the world for the first time. I fully expected this was coming. And then all of a sudden now, the creative director of the game has quit the company. And it was pretty much completely unexpected. There weren't rumblings or anything behind the scenes that this guy was unhappy. Just out of nowhere today, it's announced he's leaving. He's gone. And so now the project has to basically go to the second in command. It's like, whoa, what happened here? So that being said, I don't know what's going to happen with this game, you know? And let's be honest here, Blizzard isn't exactly the kings of diversity when it comes to their repertoire of games that they're putting out. You know, like, really, what has Blizzard done in the last 5 to 10 years besides Overwatch? Not much. You know, they re-released Diablo 3 about 14 times on different platforms. You know, not too much. World of Warcraft expansions. Not to say that those are much to speak of. You know what I mean? So, I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know. But this is the big news today. Everyone is shocked that the creative director of Overwatch is quitting the company out of nowhere. Like, literally out of left field. No one had any inklings that this guy was unhappy or that maybe the game development wasn't going well. But obviously, this is a big red flag now, right? Alrighty then. Alright, guys. That's really all I got. I've been following news. The only other news is that Michael Keaton, the well-renowned actor, will be resuming his role as the Batman in the upcoming Flash movie. That is cool. Because in my opinion, Michael Keaton is the best Batman ever. I enjoyed him as the original cinematic Batman, although you could argue Adam West played Batman before him, but that was kind of campy. I feel that Michael Keaton is the best Batman. He played Batman in 2 separate Batman movies, and he really fit the character. At first, you didn't think he would, and then he, like, 100% nailed it. So, that's exciting. No, it's not a bad joke. This is true. I'm not kidding. This was announced yesterday. His publicist came out and said, yes, he's playing Batman again. Of course, he'll be an old man Batman, but that's cool. I'm okay with that. All right, so that's good news in my opinion. I'm interested in this movie now. Although I don't know anything about Flash. I didn't see the Justice League, either version of Justice League. So, okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's now time for shout-outs. Let's get to shouting out your contributions on the stream today, because there are a good amount of them, it looks like, if I take a look here. So we start off with Beryl Shroud, who right as the stream started, did a 420-bit cheer. Thank you very much, Beryl Shroud, for the first 420 cheer of the day. Very nice. He says the following. Tonight, in honor of the special day, I'm making a baked Italian, but I am tweaking the recipe. In the special sauce, I'm going to add loads of weed to make a true baked Italian. And am I invited to the VIP OIC lounge at Phil Stadium? Well, that would be interesting. Imagine if I made a batch of my sauce, but instead of using oregano and parsley and all those ingredients that I used to spice it up, I used weed. Uh-oh. All right, let's not get too crazy because people might get ideas. And they might actually turn this into, like, an actual popular product. A true baked Italian. See? Anyway. Thank you, Beryl Shroud, for the cheer. And I'm sure you're welcome at Phil Stadium. All right, Gren Apple Slush did a 100-bit cheer this morning. Thank you very much, Gren Apple Slush. Modapox did a 50-bit cheer. Says, if you could be a commentator for an esports game, what would you choose? I mean, the only esports game I'd even understand at a level would be Street Fighter. That would be it. The thing is, I hate modern Street Fighter, so I'd basically just be sitting there shitting on the game constantly, which is, I'm pretty sure, not what they want in an esports commentator. You see? That's what it's pretty funny. I told you guys this story before. When I was working with Machinima, and I was in the partnership program with Machinima, they literally did an interview with me where they said, so when your content creation days dry up, what do you want to do? I was like, what are you talking about? This is at the height of my popularity. This is when I was really getting momentum on YouTube. This is when I was making ridiculous money, all right, doing what I was doing on YouTube. And Machinima was of the impression, well, this is all fleeting. This will never continue. You'll never do this for a living for long term. So just accept that fact and figure out what you want to do next. And I was kind of like, boy, is that like the most defeatist, awful attitude to have? Here I am, 10 years later, and I'm still doing this for a living. While Machinima doesn't even exist anymore. So anyway, when they asked me that, I said, gee, I guess I would, I don't know. And they actually leaned me towards, would you want to be an esports commentator? And I said, yeah, I guess I could do commentating on like fighting games or something. Because I have knowledge, I've been playing fighting games my whole life. I used to be a competitive player, so maybe I'd have that innate knowledge to be able to do like esports commentating on stuff like that, right? But it's just funny to me that like they were like, there's no way this can last, and like, wow, that's like what a terrible attitude to have, and because of that attitude you failed and now you don't even exist anymore, but here I am 10 years later still going strong. It's just kind of funny to me. But anyway, yeah, it would have to be fighting games. I don't have competitive knowledge of pretty much any other franchise to be able to do any kind of commentary on anything else, But the thing is, no one would want me to do that. No one wants to hear Darkside Phil do commentary on competitive fighting games. And I wouldn't want to do it on the modern ones like Street Fighter 5. I hate the game. Why would I ever want to commentate on that piece of garbage? Oh, look, he caught him with that same pattern again. Oh, wow. What great gameplay. Fall fucking asleep. All right, anyway, Shirtless Mofo is our first tipper of the day. $4.20. And he says, weed is the best medicine for allergies. Toka Brez? Brez? Is that a new fucking term, Brez? Anyway. Thank you, Shirtless Mofo, for the first tip of the day. $4.20. And we saw that awesome animation. Thank you, sir. Then, Jackalee's also tipped me $4.20. So that jumps us up to $8 in tips today so far. Thank you. Let's see here. Mr. Hurdy-Gurdy Man is here. He cheers. Says, can you help me out and tell me how to clear my internet history? My mom wants to use my laptop. I don't want her to know what her son is a bit addict. A bit addict? What does that mean? Well, clearing your internet history is different depending on your browser, actually, right? I'm trying to think about it. Like, some browsers are pretty easy. You just go right to the menu and there's a drop down that says it, and then other browsers, you gotta go in like 10 menus to fucking do it. It's stupid. And then on your phone, it's different too. Because your phone likely is using a different version of the browser than you would use on your laptop or your desktop. So on your phone is probably even another different setting or menu. So really, you'd have to figure that out for yourself, depending on your browser. So, nice bait. How exactly is that bait? How is that bait? How is me talking about resetting browser viewing history bait of anything? What the? People are dumb. Nice bait. To you, anything is bait. Anyway, let's continue. The only foolproof way of clearing your internet history is taking a hammer to your computer, by the way. Smashing the shit out of it. Then no one will ever be able to see what you've been looking at. Okay. Motopox has tipped me $4.20. Thank you, Motopox, for the $4.20 tip. And again, a very cool animation played when you did that. Thank you. Update that. Xbox One is garbage. Shipped me $1.30. Said, let's fucking blaze it, man. I'm fried already. Are you seriously? That's funny. All right. Thank you very much. Xbox One is garbage for the tip. 672 gifted a tier 1 sub to A Jolly Pug. Congratulations to A Jolly Pug. Thank you, 672, for the channel support. Super Blind Man is here. What's going on, sir? He has tipped me $20, which is the biggest tip of the day. Let's get that up on the leaderboard. And thank you so much, sir. It's good to see you. Hope everything's going well with you. I just screwed up the leaderboard. Oops. There we go. So with that, we're up to $33 in tips already. That is 1/3 to our tips goal for the stream. Thank you guys for the support. So Super Blind Man says, bringing on the support, enjoying your Danganronpa playthrough on YouTube. Have a great stream. Yes, the Danganronpa playthrough, for me, here's the thing. You guys know me. I'm not into the whole anime-ish culture. I'm not into the waifu thing. I'm not into any of that. But Danganronpa is an intriguing game. And it's a murder mystery game where whenever these murders happen, you really have to dive deep into what's going on. And I'll be honest, I actually liked the last murder mystery a lot. Case 2 was way better than Case 1 in my opinion. I really enjoyed it. And I had no idea that the person who was the murderer in that case was the murderer until it was revealed during the case trial. I didn't even have a single suspicion that it was that person. Okay, so that one actually, I really, really enjoyed it. And if the rest of the murders and the investigations are like that, I think I'm really going to like the rest of the game. But I hate the fact that they have this, they always have to cater towards a certain demographic. And they always have to cater towards like the immature, younger audience. Oh, we have to have the girls who's over-sexualized. There's a girl in the game who has to constantly talking about sexual things. You know what I mean? And it's kind of like cringeworthy. But Danganronpa's kind of always been that way. I actually feel this one is worse than the previous two. Like, at least the previous two, yeah, there were some over-sexualized women in it, but it wasn't, like, overtly discussed. In this game, it's, like, openly discussed constantly. And it's like, you just gotta cringe. That's what I mean. Like, if the game had less cringe and more murder mystery, I would actually really enjoy it. And there, a lot of the times what happens is you get that open time to do whatever you want, and it ends up being the most boring part of the game. You just want to get to the next murder and the next mystery. But overall, I'm actually really enjoying the game. So I'm looking forward to more of it tomorrow, right? Yeah, we're doing more of it tomorrow. We're continuing on with Chapter 3. And thanks to those who are joining me for that journey and supporting the playthrough. I really appreciate that. So thank you, Super Blind Man. Good to see you, and thank you for the very generous contribution, man. I appreciate that. Okay. Mr. Hurdy-Gurdy Man. Cheering said, I've always wondered about Americans. Do you feel Italian if someone from Italy is introduced to you and says, Buongiorno, commendatori. I'm Italiano. Would you say, Mi tu, paisan? I would say, Hey, paisanos, it's the Super Mario Brothers Super Show. Oh, my God. Yes. Yes, of course. Immediately when I run into someone else who's Italian, we immediately start breaking into Italian speak and start talking about things that only Italians would care about. Absolutely. In fact, what happens is I pull out my comb and a jar of grease, and I immediately just start greasing my hair up and combing it backwards. Yeah. and then the other person who's Italian puts on a striped shirt and jumps in a gondola and starts rowing it down the street. Like, what the hell are you talking about? Oh, my goodness. Someone just said, aren't I Polish? Yes, I've said this many times, all right? I am 25% Italian, 25% Polish, and 50% European mix. Reason being, my mom is a 50-50 split. She's half Italian and half Polish. Her dad was an immigrant from Italy, and her mom was 100% Polish. Her family were Polish immigrants. So I'm 25-25, and then my dad is a mix of all these different European countries. Like, my last name, Burnell, is a town in Ireland, but it's a town in Ireland that was basically run by the British, not by necessarily, the Irish. So I know that there's, British culture in me for sure, British ancestry. But apparently my dad said there's a few other things, and he actually found out that way back in the family tree, there's actually a little bit Native American too. So, I'm basically a mix. I'm a mutt. But I do have a big chunk of Italian and a big chunk of Polish in me. Okay? I don't necessarily think I look anything. Like, if you just looked at me and you didn't know my name or whatever, I don't know if you'd be able to tell if I was any kind of a what do they call that? Culture or nationality or whatever. I don't think you'd be able to tell that. Right? I don't think I look like anything. So. But anyway. That being said, yes, immediately when I run into someone who's Italian, we just break into Italian song. We start singing the song. It's Peppino the Italian Mouse. We start singing that song in the middle of the street. We join arms. We start dancing around a special Italian jig. Oh my God. Yes. And we start immediately. We run into the local bakery and start tossing dough to make pizza pies. Yes. Of course. Good Lord, you're out of your mind. And then, Mr. Hurdy-Gurdy Man cheered again. He said, it's weird you say Street Fighter V was all pattern play when Super Turbo was totally reliant on set play. Street Fighter 4 always was. The only games that break out of this are the Alpha Series, Third Strike, and Street Fighter V. Completely wrong. Completely wrong. I would like you to watch when you play Super Turbo at a high level, okay? And I dare you to tell me that every time I play that game, I'm doing exactly the same thing. I dare you. Absolutely, completely incorrect. They're absolutely, I would say the one character in that game, Super Turbo, who is pretty much a set pattern player is Old Sagat. 100% I will agree with you there. Old Sagat. That's why everyone says Old Sagat is kind of the easiest and best character in the game, because he's not hard to learn. It's Tiger Fireballs, reactionary Tiger Uppercuts, and doing a few high priority normals. And you could dominate at a high level with Old Sagat. Outside of that, the rest of the game is completely situational. You need to know the matchup. You need to know what move beats what move. It's the opposite of pattern play. That's why I like Super Turbo. It's nothing like these other games where you're 100% doing pattern play. It's not. If you think that, it's because you don't have a high level knowledge of the game in any way. You're watching people who don't know the game at a high level play it, and you think that you're understanding it, and you don't. You're seeing base level gameplay. You're not seeing the high level shit. Okay? You gotta understand that. It's very different. Street Fighter V is like fucking easy mode shit, dude. It's like a game. People who are good at Super Turbo, alright, if they were to put their hands on Street Fighter V for like 2 days, they could probably learn high-level tournament play and immediately apply it. Because there's nothing to it. It's base shit. It's like easy mode shit. They did it on purpose because they wanted the game to appeal to a mass audience, and in the same way they dumbed down and watered down the game so much, it's just not fun. I hate that fucking game. Okay. Anyway, Benzuko Lives has tipped me $4.20 and says, I don't do drugs, just some recreational coffee on Saturdays. In the spirit of the holiday, enjoy this tip. Thank you very much, Benzuko. Good to see you here today. Thank you very much for the tip. By the way, we're up to $37 in tips now. I appreciate the support on the pre-stream here, guys. Hurdy Gurdy Man cheered again. He said Irish, and then he said a bunch of Irish stuff, and he says our day will come. No, see, that's the thing. Even though Burnell is a town in Ireland, it's because it's a town that was dominated by the British. It's not, I'm not Irish in any way. It's kind of like also, you know how the British have a strong connection to Indian culture because they colonized the Indian territories. It's kind of the same deal, okay? No, I don't think I have any Irish in me. I don't think so. I could be wrong, but I don't think so. OVZO cheers. Is any chance we can watch an Amazon movie instead of looking at the same slideshow every day? No. Captain Caveman 4201 resubscribed for a whopping 38 months and says 420 on Taco Tuesday. It was written in the stars. There you go. Toke up and then get a nice box of tacos. Yummy, yummy. Although I don't recommend Taco Bell. Get something else. Very nice. Thank you, Captain Caveman, for the resub. Good to see you today. 3 times Timmy Winner has resubscribed for 6 months and says, no, Phil, you're wrong. You only play old Street Fighter. You're clearly disconnected from modern day Street Fighter. You should do more research, in my opinion. Okay. That's your opinion. You're entitled to it. You're absolutely entitled to it. I will tell you, publicly, I admit I have not followed Street Fighter V in many years. I followed it that first year, and then the year after, if you remember, people got me back into it because they had told me that the game had been changed for the better. Like around the time when Sagat was entered into the game, people were telling me about how it's so much better and everything, and I played it again. I just never got into it. I hated it. So, you know, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe the game has dramatically changed in the last year, and now it plays like Super Turbo. Too little, too late for me. I don't give a fuck. Local Nomad did a 420-bit cheer. Thank you very much, Local Nomad. He says that ties him for top cheer, by the way. He says there should be decent opportunities for wagers with this game. I have a good stream. That's a good question, actually. Here's what we'll say. We won't do wagers per se right away. Let's get my character created. Let's get set up into the minor leagues. And then once we start with the actual gameplay, let's see if you guys want to wager. Oh, Phil will get 3 hits in his first at-bats or whatever. We could do that. The thing is, I don't remember anything about the controls or nothing, so I'm going to suck ass early on. Like, I'm going to do really badly until we get into the meat of the game, like maybe a few hours in, and then as I get more adjusted to the controls and the gameplay and everything, then maybe I'll do better. Definitely, I could definitely see there being wagers in this game for sure, you know, once we get into it and we see exactly what the gameplay loop's going to be, but I feel we need to get past this intro stream, you know what I mean? Like, we have to actually get to that part, so I guess we'll find out. Thank you for the question. I think there is potential there, Local Nomad. Hurdy Gurdy Man cheered again. He says, can you say in your best Northern Irish accent? Oh my god. I don't know. What's accent? Aye, wee laddies. No surrender, and not an inch further. There you go. No surrender, wee laddies, and not an inch further. Back with you. All right, that was terrible. That was really bad. That was really bad. Oh, my God. B-Boy Cyclone tipped me $4.20, and he says, Garugamesh, Phil. Happy 420, brother. Stay safe. Thank you very much, B-Boy Cyclone, for the $4.20 tip. That gets us up to $41 in tips. And a lot of I told you we're going to have a lot of 420 cheers and tips today. I guarantee you it's going to keep going all day long. Thank you very much. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's do some shout-outs. Today's Tuesday, which means it's very, very early in the week, all right? But nonetheless, people have been supportive, so I want to give a shout-out to the top cheers of the week, all right? In 10th place so far this week, we got Major Riot. In 9th place, we've got That Beaver Eats Taco Bell. In 8th place, Tora Kill. 7th place is actually a triple tie for 5th between IRS Audit Agent, Wooback Baby, and Mr. Hurdy-Gurdy Man. Then we've got Local Nomad in 4th place with a 420-bit cheer. In 3rd place, we've got Timbo Slice. 2nd place, Barrel Shroud. And in 1st place, Robot Wizard so far this week. Again, thank you guys. Also, thank you to those who have gifted subscriptions to the channel. We've got 672 and Ultimate Cloud 7 who each gifted a single sub. We got Jack Elise who gifted 3 subs. All right. Now, guys, I'm going to say this again, just for reiteration, because a lot of you were not here at the beginning of the pre-stream. All right. I need help with tips this month. Make no bones about it. I'm in a situation where things are very, very, very tight for me financially. All right. I had to drop a lot of money with the feds this week. It was actually over the weekend. I had to drop this payment. Okay. And now that it's cleared, basically I have next to no money. All the money that I have is already accounted for upcoming bills. All right. So the only income I have is from tips. I'm serious about this. Like, the only income that I have to do stuff, pay bills, go shopping, etc., is tips. So if you can tip me this week into the end of the month, like, that is the major way I need support right now. I understand some people like to cheer and sub, but if you have the choice to choose how to contribute, being honest here, we already hit the sub goal for the month, so we're good there. All right, and cheers are great, but I don't get positive benefit for them for another month. I need immediate support. So if you could tip me, that's the best way to go about it right now. Fair enough? Thank you in advance to anyone who contributes in any way, but tipping is definitely the way to go if you want to support me in the short term. And by the way, like I said earlier, if you've been holding off to support, I'm waiting for the new releases or whatever, either they're here or they're about to be here, and I need to help, so please tip if you can, and thank you in advance for that support, okay? Good stuff. All right. Anything else? Any other questions, or is it break time? What do you guys think? Mr. Hurdy-Gurdy Man just cheers. Says, can we come to an agreement? I can tip you anonymously, but always use a password. If not, why not? Well, Mr. Hurdy-Gurdy Man, here's the way it works. If you tip me, all right, you have the ability to choose any name you want. You can tip anonymously, or you can actually use a name that's linked to your PayPal account or your Twitch account. Like, you have the option when you tip me to do that, okay? Now, if you tip me, and it says anonymous, and it says in the message, hey, don't read this out, this is just an anonymous tip and I support you, then I'll just say, okay, an anonymous tipper tipped this, and that's it. And if you were to say, oh, FYI, you could literally tip and say, anonymous tip, I don't know, $5, and then in the message say, hey, this is Hurdy-Gurdy Man, but I don't want to say it's me, I just want to say, you know, thanks for the content, and here you go, here's your support. And I would just say, hey, an anonymous $5 tipper, that's it. There's a few people who do that, who they don't want. And let's be honest here, why? Because of online harassment. People are fucked up, right? They're assholes. So there's a few people who do that because they don't want to have people trying to stalk them down and harass them on the internet for contributing to my streams. So, yes, that would be possible. It would be. Illmatic Raw, I just cheered. Is there any advice for opening a stock investment portfolio? No. No. You're on the wrong stream. I'm pretty sure there's tons of streams where people can be able to give you that kind of advice. This ain't one of them. All right? Oh, I'm sorry. I should have said, no, I have no advice for you. There we go. I forgot to do that recently. Okay. Lord Point says, is there any legal recourse to recover lost profit from distractor streams? Well, let me think. Maybe if you creatively thought about it, no. Don't do it. It's a waste of fucking time. It's really stupid. Just ignore it. That's my philosophy anyway. Okay. All right, then we got an asshole insults me blatantly on my stream. He's out of here for good. I just got to fucking type his name in because this thing scrolled so fast that I couldn't get it to actually select his name. There we go. Enjoy your permanent ban. Okay. Ah, itchy. That's right. He's out of here. I'm having some weird things happen on my laptop. Like, it looked like someone just cheered again, but it didn't. It's not showing up in my queue. So maybe no one did cheer. Maybe it glitched. I don't know. My laptop's been having some issues recently. I think I have to restart it again. Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen, anything else? Any other questions? Any other things you want to talk about, or shall we go on our break? What's for dinner tonight? I think we're just having pasta. I think we're having pasta with our homemade sauce. I never know because really it depends on what my wife feels like. You know, one day she comes home from work and she's fine. Other day she comes home, she's completely drained and tired. She really doesn't want to go through making like an elaborate meal. So it all depends. It may be a situation where she just pooped and, you know, we do something quick. Or it could be a situation where she feels like a certain meal. So, you know, she has flexibility, which is good. Nope, we still don't have the vaccine, truck rattle. You know, I don't talk about it much. It's this simple. Every day I check in the morning, and I see if a vaccine is available. Some days there have been, but when I go to check, the vaccine is only available, like, within a day. It's like, well, we can't get it in a day. My wife's working. You know, we can't get it tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. because she's working. There have been other things that, like, appointments are available, but they're very far away, so we wouldn't even be able to make those. There's been nothing in this area readily available at a date or time when we can go. So we're just going to wait. We're going to wait it out. And the thing is, we know eventually availability will open up further. But it's just a matter of playing the waiting game, you know? Existence IRL, we literally just talked about that. Jeff Kaplan leaving Blizzard, the creative director of Overwatch. We had actually a big segment about it. Hurdy-gurdy, mine cheers. I think it's interesting. Your daily ablutions can't wait until we have stopped interacting each morning. Very handy, Cyberphil. There you go. All right. Are we good? I think we're good. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go on break. All right, I'm going to use the restroom, prepare for the stream. I recommend you guys take this opportunity, get a drink or a snack, use the restroom yourselves, get set up. All right, we're going to have at least 3 hours of MLB fun today, setting up, creating a character, and starting up a career mode. All right? So thank you so far for your support so far. I will see you in a few for the premiere. That's right, the premiere of MLB. All right? All right, guys, thank you. I shall see you soon. See you in a few.